One of the first significant pro days will happen today in Norman, Oklahoma, as Baker Mayfield will work out. And Jeff Darlington is there, joining us live on SportsCenter AM. Jeff, what's the schedule of events today?
Well, Randy, Baker Mayfield, obviously the spotlight will be on him today. He's not going to do anything but throw the football on the field behind me. In about a half hour, several of the other Oklahoma Sooners will go into the weight room across the street to do some of those types of drills, but not until a couple hours after that will we see Baker Mayfield on this field. He decided that he ultimately likes the numbers he put up at the scouting combine in terms of some of those other drills, like the 40-yard dash. Ultimately wants to show off his accuracy. He was exceptional in that regard at the combine. I wouldn't expect anything less today in front of these scouts since he's going to have his own receivers to be throwing to today.
So, Jeff, plenty of potential suitors there for Mayfield. How many teams are expected to attend his workout?
How about this? Every team is expected, I'm told, in some capacity. We should point out, though, with the start of free agency, it'll make it very interesting to see who is actually here. And the people who do send top brass here, we can conclude right away that they are very interested in Baker Mayfield. One of those people, I'm told, is expected to be here, John Elway, the team that is expected to also sign Case Keenum to a contract today. Apparently very serious about Baker Mayfield because John Elway would not be in the building right now. He'd be in Denver doing deals on the first day of free agency. Now, I am told that several teams who are interested in Baker Mayfield might not be here because they have instead treated the first day of free agency as their priority, but all 32 teams will be in the house. So I'll be keeping an eye out to see which teams send their GMs, their head coaches, and we'll get back to you on that to make sure that we know exactly who's got their eyes on Baker Mayfield.
All right, John Elway in the house, Jeff Darlington in the house, live from Baker Mayfield's Pro Day all day for us on SportsCenter.
Welcome back now once again to Louis Riddick. And Louis, okay, you got Josh Rosen, Josh Allen, Sam Darnold, Baker. Where do you rank Baker Mayfield?
Well, he's been number one for me all along, although he doesn't have the number one measurables that everyone gets caught up on. But look, Baker is an 11-on-11 baller, which is most important to me. And he's a situational player, meaning when the game's on the line, he's going to play his best. Meaning when they get down in the red zone, he's going to play his best. When he's under pressure, he's going to play his best. When they need him to be his best, he's going to be his best. It's not going to always look like some of the prototypical quarterbacks are concerned as far as his footwork at this point in time in his career, as far as his delivery at this point in time in his career. But don't get hung up on all that. He's still a work in progress from a mechanics and consistency standpoint, especially when you're talking about working from under center. But when the ball comes out of his hands, is it going where it needs to go quickly and accurately? He can do that. No most accurate passer in this draft. Now, the other point that people will start bringing up is, well, what about Baker the guy? Can you depend on him? Can he be the face of the franchise? There's no question that he continues to need to mature. Then he's going to need to take some of the edge off because now he's going to become a little bit more is going to be expected of him as far as being a front-facing person for an NFL franchise. I think he'll get all that. But as far as being a baller, don't talk to me about him being under 6'2". Don't talk to me about his hand size. Just talk to me how he plays 11-on-11. Wow. And he plays pretty darn good. John Elway wouldn't be there if he didn't.
How might the free agency quarterback moves affect the draft and teams needing quarterbacks?
Well, I think, let's just look at, for instance, what the Denver Broncos are doing right now, right? They signed Case Keenum, but John's still supposed to be down there. Yeah. I think right now everything is still on the board as far as teams still being able to select quarterbacks. Look, Cleveland Browns are still going to take a quarterback, too. I don't care what they did with Tyrod Taylor. He's not the long-term answer. Right. Most teams at the top of the draft that have signed quarterbacks, most of these guys, although Case Keenum, I'm not quite sure quite yet whether or not he's a bridge guy or not. Most of these guys are bridge players, meaning they're still looking for long-term solutions. Think about the Jets. They're still going to draft a quarterback, too, even though they signed 2 quarterbacks. And I love Josh McCown. It's still the long-term plan. I think everybody's still in play here.
All right, Louis Riddick dropping the insight for us on SportsCenter.